Even the most organized people have spaces that look kind of terrible. And mine is just behind me. It doesn't look bad from here, but believe me, it is. This is my Monica's closet from Friends, you know, when everything else in the house is organized and this is not. I have decluttered down here before in my little Harry Potter cupboard, but it's time again. It's been a good while, so let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another declutter and welcome to my hallway. You often see me up in the kitchen, which is on the second floor if you follow my meal prep channel. If you don't already, I will link it up here. But behind you is my front door and there is the door to my back garden. Right next to me is my husband's office, which I won't be showing because that's his space. And back here is my office. But we have a secret door. And behind the secret door is my Monica from Friends closet. If you know, you know, when Monica and Friends has everything very organized, but then there's the one space that doesn't look quite as nice. And this space has been driving me slightly crazy for a little while because it's been where a lot of things, I wouldn't say go to die, but there is definitely a lot more crap in there than there should be. I've recently set up my outside area for spring. It's very windy and rainy today, but we used to store a bunch of cushions and stuff in this space. And it might not look bad yet, but let me show you here on the screen just how messy it is. It's got stuff, we got shoes, we've got an ironing board. This is probably not the place to keep it. We used to store wine down here, but now we've got a wine fridge upstairs. But it's just so much random stuff and a lot of cat things in here. So firstly, I think there's a fair few things here that need to be rehomed, and what is going to stay needs to be better organized because at the moment we're both just kind of tossing things into the pile. So I'm going to take all this stuff out of the closet. I'm going to pile it up here in the hallway. I'm going to use the bed in my office to put smaller things on. And from there we can kind of organize. But this is one of those classic things. This also, we've lived in this house for 2.5 years and it's never been vacuumed. So I desperately need to vacuum in there. And in order to do that, I need to empty it. So thanks for hanging out with me. Let's get started on this crazy project. So now that you've seen what we're dealing with, I'm gonna start emptying this out. And like I said, I've got a basket somewhere. One second. So I'm gonna use my laundry basket to put some loose things that will be easy to go through on the bed in the other room. So let me just start emptying this all out. Okay, so let's welcome. You are right under my stair landing now, and down here we have where stuff goes to die a little bit because it's very low here. I'm a short person, I'm 5'6", but often we bonk our heads when we try to access things under here. But we have a bunch of like blankets and fans and things back here. I've also got my Christmas decorations. I've only got 2 boxes of Christmas decorations. One is this big one here with all the ornaments and stuff, and then I have a long skinny one for the actual Christmas tree. It also does get a little bit humid under my stairs, but this one's good. I get these moisture absorbers just from Bunnings. You saw one earlier that is quite full, but this one's actually completely dry, which is good, so it mustn't have been very damp under here. But I'm going to empty the rest of this out and show you in my hallway just how much stuff I'm getting out of here. So let's keep going. Well, apologies for the weird angle and the awkward lighting and the terrible sound, I'm sure. But here is everything emptied out. We got my box with my Christmas tree. I got all my Christmas decorations, as well as any fancy dress clothing and stuff. And the only other thing left back here is some carpet offcut. But as you can see, my carpet tiles go most of the way back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag out my vacuum. I'm going to move you around and I'm going to give it a quick vacuum in here, because like I said, it has not been vacuumed since we moved in, which was a good while ago. So wish me luck. I'll see you soon. Alright, so that was a good fun vacuuming session. I wasn't able to get a lot for you, but I wanted to show you this. So I fully emptied this Dyson vacuum thing before I started. And I don't think you can really appreciate the grossness on the camera, but that's how much I got from just one quick pass at these carpet tiles, which were cleaned before they were put in here. So gross. All right, I'm gonna wipe down this shelf now, and then I'm gonna show you what we're working with, and we're gonna sort through the stuff before we put anything back. All right, so I'm gonna show you the mountains of stuff in just a minute, but this is the space fairly emptied. This here is just a motion censored light that we installed ourselves. There was nothing here when we first moved in. And then back here we have the carpet offcuts, my Christmas tree, and my fancy dress and Christmas decorations, and that's it in here. Now these carpet offcuts here we got for free on the local pay nothing group. So these are just laid down, they're not glued or anything, so we just basically got a bunch of them and Tetris them together, and like I showed you before, they go almost all the way back there, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it just makes it a little bit softer to walk around in here. The other thing we have in here is this shelving unit, which I got also for free on a local pay nothing group. And this is just where we've got our modem and some cables and things like that. We also have an umbrella, a rechargeable emergency light for if we get like, we actually quite often get power outages here. Well, not often, but sometimes. And then we got the fire extinguisher as well. So they're gonna stay right there. They're not pretty, but they work. But it's so nice to see this space empty, and it's so dang big. I can't believe how much room I've got and how much room we were able to fill. But now let me show you what we got out here. Also here on the door, because it's right inside the front door, and the garage door is just over here. So this is where we normally keep the jackets that we wear every day. And I will be putting a few things back in this storage unit here because it works. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. But over here we've got 2 life jackets, which we were kindly gifted by someone. They go with the 2 kayaks that we have that we don't store at home. So I'm guessing we're keeping them. I'm just gonna have to find a spot for them back in there, probably, maybe in the garage. I'll have a chat to my husband about that one. We then have a bin each, so that's my husband's, that's mine. We like hats and scarves and gloves and stuff, but we're going into spring, so hopefully we won't need this for a little while. Here is my laundry basket with mixed stuff that I have to go through. A chessboard that my husband got gifted from his granddad, so that's staying. I just have to work out where. This wine rack I think I'm going to put up on my local Pay It Forward group. Oh my god, let me move some stuff around. In my staircase I have a very curious cat. Hi Lumi. She's actually matching everything. So this is an old, I think queen size mattress protector, but then we have a newer, so we got gifted that. I think we used to have it in the caravan or something, but then I think we have a newer one here which is more comfortable, so I'll just double check which one we're going to keep. And this here is an electric blanket that used to be on a spare bed in another place. Again, we got gifted that, so I think I'm going to keep those two, get rid of that one which is older. We have a bunch of shoes, so everyday shoes, you can't even bloody see it here. Everyday shoes live on this shoe rack. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like when it's not crammed. So this is everyday shoes, and I keep some of my out of season shoes, etc. up in my closet upstairs. So I'm going to go through the shoe situation and relocate a few of them. Our luggage, this has our big hiking backpack and main luggage stuff inside it. Shopping bags to take to the supermarket. Empty bin for something. Random cat things, including an extra cat toilet for the cat. We used to use this in the other apartment we used to own when we used to commute a lot for work. So the only time we'd really use that now is if we go out in the caravan, because yes, we do take our cat camping from time to time. She loves it. We've got a fan for each of our offices / guest rooms in the summertime, and then that fan over there, the smaller one, goes in the caravan because it doesn't take up as much room. I've got a heck of a lot of day bags here, so we're going to have to work through that. Beer brewing things that my husband has to go through. And then again, in the apartment that we used to own, I think I have a video somewhere about that makeover we did a few years ago in that apartment. But these are just shoe organizers that I used to have in the closet there because we were really short on space, but I'm not sure if I need them now, so let me play around with what happens with them. Oh my gosh, it gets worse before it gets better. Oh yeah, and summer hats and a curious cat. All right, let's see what we can do. The cat is climbing around and all this stuff. This is great fun for both of us. The first thing I do when I deal with an overwhelming project like this is either I empty the whole space, even if it can be overwhelming, or I empty it section by section. Because this is a small space, I had to empty it all out before I could really clean it. But the next thing I do, once I have emptied and cleaned the space out, is I put back the things. I make it easy for my brain to declutter the volume of stuff on the floor. So I put back the things that I know are going to stay. And whilst I would love to check with my husband about these life jackets, we don't have an obvious spot in the garage to store them. So I think I'm going to put them back in the far corner behind there because that's where it makes the most sense for now to keep them. And we're not going to get rid of them because we still have the kayaks and we will probably be using them in spring and summer. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting back things that I know that I'm definitely going to keep. Okay, another thing that I know that I'm going to keep that is working are those bins with our hats and gloves for winter stuff, so I'm going to put them back too. And by the way, if you find that it's really expensive to buy containers and stuff like that, I bought these two plus another one at a secondhand shop for like $1 each. So if you keep a lookout for things and make sure that they're just decent quality, no stains, no smell, you can find pretty good deals on things like this. So today is not a decluttering day, so we're just putting back the things that we are definitely using, and then I can easily declutter this bin at another time. Another thing that's definitely staying is the family chessboard. My husband just hasn't decided where he's going to keep it, so I'm going to put that back in as well. Continuing on with things that I'm keeping. It does get damp under here from time to time, so I'm going to keep one of these damp red things, but this one here is pretty much full, so that's going to go in the bin. And I'm going to put this one for now just here on the shelf, but I will probably put it around the corner when I've worked out how much stuff is staying there. Next up are shopping bags, and I have this empty bin here. So I'm kind of wondering if I can put that on the shelf here behind me. Let me see if I can lower you so you can see what I'm talking about. Because I've got this shelf here. So I'm thinking if I can kind of fold these up. So pretty much every time I go shopping, whether we use my husband's car or mine, we grab all the bags. And we usually don't need all the bags. I usually need like maybe the cooler bag and 1 or 2. So I'm gonna see if I can fold these up a little bit more practically and put in this tub so that it's easy to grab a suitable size shopping bag for whatever shopping you're doing. So let me see what I can do with that right now. Come on. These here are my produce bags. I try to use reusable produce bags whenever I can to avoid plastic. But I have 4 bags here plus my cooler bag. So let me see if I can fold them. You've gotta organize for reality. Now I might fold these bags and put them in a little container. My husband will not. I can guarantee you 100%. He's amazing and I love him, but he's not gonna fold bags. So rather than me getting frustrated every time because things aren't organized and pretty, I am just going to use the system that has been working for however long we've lived here, 2.5 years. And I'm just going to cram all these bags inside this so that they are contained, but that way we know exactly where the shopping bags are. And there you go. Sometimes we just have to organize for reality, not for what is pretty. So this is a solution that I know will work, and it will work for my husband. So I'm going to put this on the shelf here because this is often where we go right before we leave the house when we go shopping. And maybe I can use this bin in another part of my house or even in here. So let's look at what else I can bring you. Okay, I have an idea for my bin already. I have random cat stuff that I don't want to throw away, like the flap door to her kitty litter, to her toilet, sorry. Our previous cat was really good at using a flap door. My current cat, bless her soul, is not the cleverest cookie, so she doesn't know how to use it. So I have a few random cat related things that I think I can easily put in this box and keep somewhat contained. So let me gather them together and show you. Okay, I can't believe that fit. So we have a little scratchy cat tree that we sometimes bring, like if we bring her with us somewhere else, or if people are cat sitting for us, we'll bring that. This is an extra leg from the cat tower she's got upstairs. I don't know that we'll ever need this, but I know what it's for. And then we have the flap door, a kitty litter scooper. So I think this is going to be a good way to keep it contained, unless I have another use for this bin. While I'm on a roll, I might as well put the kitty litter back in here because there's nowhere else in the house where we can store it. And her kitty toilet is just diagonally behind you, so like 5 steps from here. So I think it makes more sense to put it back in here. So we're gonna do that, and I'm also gonna put back my luggage because that definitely has to live here. So stop these. And I haven't even bonked my head once yet. I'm so proud. Oh my gosh, this is so heavy. Okay, it's not pretty, but it's very practical. Now this here is a cat window shelf. I'll include a photo of her on it here. Again, we have a lot of things that we used to have in the apartment that we owned recently for like commuting and work. So this kitty toilet came from there, this came from here, the little cat tower you saw came from there. And whilst I don't have a particular spot that I need to use this in right now, I think it's one of those, hold on to it for a couple of months, see if we use it. And if we don't, I can donate it then. So I have all the parts for it, it's fully functional, it's from Aldi, it costs like $15, love Aldi. But these are not going to be used very often, so let me put this away. And P.S. this is cleaned, so don't worry. Oh, wow. All right. Let me show you how empty it's starting to get out here, actually. Okay, so I showed you this before. But this wine rack we got gifted, well actually someone found it I think in hard rubbish or something for us. There's nothing wrong with it, but we really don't need it, so I'm gonna put that up. My cat is meowing somewhere. I'm gonna put this up in the local Pay Nothing Facebook group, so I'm gonna put that to the side. Now, so these shoe bins were really, really awesome in our apartment. We had a very small closet and you just open them, oh, light's funny. You just open them from the front and they stack really neatly on top of each other. And whilst they were not expensive, they are pretty handy. So I'm gonna put this to the side and do a quick inventory and look for other obvious things that are definitely gonna stay. This is a rain poncho that is blue and yellow Swedish colors. My brother gave this to us. I don't know that we have a lot of use for it, but if we used it, it would probably go where umbrellas go, which is in this little organizer behind you. So I'm just gonna put it there. Rubbish, rubbish. This is my sun hat. Well, one of them. The other one is actually upstairs. But I do wear this one in the summertime. It's really good for going to the beach and stuff. And my husband has his sort of leather summer hat. These are definitely staying. They're not the most stylish, but they really work. And here in Australia, if you're watching from elsewhere, the UV is crazy strong. So you do need to wear a hat and look after your health and make sure you don't get cancer. So I'm gonna find a good spot for these. Another cat thing that is definitely staying is her carrier, and I keep this here under the stairs for two reasons. One, we do actually take her traveling with us from time to time. We used to go to our apartment all the time with her. And secondly, if there was an emergency and something happened, I wanna know where this is and be able to find it within a minute or two. So if it's under the stairs where I know that her stuff is and it's easily accessible, then we won't have that problem. Okay, apologies for the light, it's all funny here, it's the afternoon sun, etc. By the way, this picture behind me, if you saw it, and if it's not too glary, this is Cecil Peaks, which is where my husband and I got married. We eloped and got married on a mountaintop in New Zealand. And this is a beautiful canvas that a friend of us ordered as a wedding present after the fact, because obviously we eloped. But if you haven't seen our elopement minimalist wedding video, I will link that up here because it was a magical day and I will share how I planned our wedding, etc. But less exciting than marriage and weddings. I have come up with a bit of a plan here. So these are my husband's hiking shoes that he wears less often. He has another pair on the shelf that he wears every single day. Well, not every day, but often. In here we've got extra sort of flip-flops for summertime, or thongs as we call them in Australia if you're not from here, and my cycling shoes, which I use probably once a week or so, but I am happy to go in and grab them. And then my husband's sort of nicer dress shoes, but we're going into winter, so he may want to put these up with his other shoe storage. But I'm going to keep these, test this storage situation out, and I'm going to go put it in the closet behind you right now. We have, Houston, we have a bag problem. Let me talk you through what we've got going on here. Not pictured in that giant pile that I showed you just then. I have a work bag and my husband has a work bag. I actually did a video very recently on my new minimalist work bag. My bags are falling down. That I'm super excited about, so check that video out up there. I will link it for you on the screen. So in addition to that, we have a couple of different types of backpacks here, and whilst I think we need to keep some, I'm going to put a few of them aside. Yes, kitty. I'm going to put a few of them aside for my husband to have a look at, because most of these do not need to stay. So my best tip for you, if you're not sure, is to look for function. So my work bag is in a separate spot. It's in my office because that's where I keep my work stuff. But I have a day hiking pack and my husband has a day hiking pack. These are super comfortable. They're good quality. Mine is newer than my husband's, but we do use these, so I know that we're going to need them. Where I'm a little bit less clear is a couple of these other ones. Let me show you. This is my husband's previous work bag that he used to have. It's a decent quality one, but it's quite bulky. It's got a lot of pockets, but it's very bulky. And I do think now that he has a new, better one, he probably doesn't need this anymore. So I'm gonna put this aside for him to have a look at. And then we have another couple of smaller bags. This one came with our big hiking pack that we use when we travel. This is one of those that you can kind of zip to the front of a large pack. We don't use it all the time, but it comes with that set, so it would probably make sense to keep this one. And then we have two like advertising ones, brand things that my husband got from events and stuff. I'm imagining he'll want to keep one of these, but I don't think we need both. And one is definitely better quality than the other. So I'm going to put this in the pile for him to go through. And I'm going to put these 3 back in the cupboard because they will get used. This giant pile here is beer brewing things. Now my husband has not brewed beer since more than 5 years ago. But if this is something that's important to him, it's not for me to declutter. And I do have a spot in the back where I can put it, because I think it came in here because he didn't want it in the garage. He wanted it in a drier space. So I will find a spot for it in the far corner behind all the other things. Hi Lumi, do you want to show everyone where we got to? Oh yes, it's too exciting. Okay, so not too much here on the shelf yet, except my shopping bags and my hats, and my summer hats are behind here. Then I stacked the shoes sideways so you can open them from this side, just because otherwise they would be sticking out into the aisle and it might not look like it, but it's a very narrow space here. In this corner, just in terms of accessibility, because we access the kitty litter, or well, the open kitty litter every single week. So we're gonna keep that there. And back here, you've seen me go in with a lot of stuff. It is quite amazing what we were able to fit in here, isn't it, Lumi? She is so helpful. So in the far corner, we've got the Christmas tree, and behind that suitcase is the beer brewing stuff. We've got the chessboard there protected by the box. We've got the cat things that I showed you back there because we're not going to be using them, and even further back are the life jackets. We have not used those life jackets in the 2 years we've had them. Oh my gosh, are you chatty? It's someone's dinner time. And here are the day packs that we looked at. So I've got acres of space actually. So I'm going to move this light now and start putting some things back in this corner that we'll need soon, but not right now. Now these are going to come out soon for summer season, but usually before I put fans away in the autumn and winter, I usually take them apart and clean off the blades and everything. So these are not too bad, just a bit of surface dust, but back in they go. And as someone who's rented most of my life, I've used fans like this almost every summer since I came to Australia. But what we did in our master bedroom is that we actually have a ceiling fan, which is just amazing. And one of the many perks of building your own home is that you can add these little extra things for not too much money. So, but these are very much needed in our guest rooms / offices. And we are taking the caravan away soon, in a couple of weeks' time, but I am not going to pop this in the caravan just yet because I don't know if it's going to be warm enough to warrant a fan. So we're going to put this away for now with the others. Let's talk about ironing boards, friends. I've never had an ironing board before in my life, but my husband had this when we met. And because he used to wear proper dress shirts and stuff for work, he would have gotten this at the time. But I really don't like it. It's big and bulky. I can't think of where else to put it though. I'm gonna try in the closet in my bedroom. We've got a spare room closet where I only keep like filming lights and that kind of stuff. I'm gonna see if it can go there because this is so narrow, and this, however and wherever you put it, is just gonna be in the way. Unless I can put it long ways, like a surfboard. Let me see. I'm a genius. It totally worked. I'm gonna show you in the walkthrough in a minute. Whew. All right, so all I have left to go through is the ginormous pile of stuff in my hallway. Hopefully you guys are not getting motion sick from getting moved around. Okay, so we have a pretty decent mattress in the caravan. It's, you know, a caravan mattress is a caravan mattress, kind of like camping mattress. So this electric blanket, I think this is a queen size, and it's been aired out before it got put down here. So I think what I might do, because it doesn't smells all right, I'm gonna vacuum seal this and pack this away. I'm actually gonna take the electric blanket off our bed too. I'm gonna vacuum seal this in one of the vacuum bags that I found and put that away for the season. And then I'm just gonna inspect here. Yeah, like this one here, they're both queen size, so they'll be slightly too big for the caravan. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the caravan to get ready for going camping soon anyway. So I'm gonna hold on to the old one that I know fits the caravan okay until I've had a chance to put the new one on. And if that works, then we're just gonna go with that and get rid of the old one. And then I'll have 50% less blankets, which will be great. All right, so I'm gonna fold this up now. There's nowhere else, unfortunately, for this to go in the meantime. So I'm just gonna pop it back in here. It'll be fine. You know what? I'm just gonna make the call. I'm just gonna get rid of this old one. We were gifted it. It's really like lumpy. It's been washed. It's fine, but it's really lumpy and it's got some stains on it. So why hold on to it? I'm just gonna use the new one and make it work, and that'll be fine. Okay, just going through this last bin. These are some, oh my gosh. Oh, what fell off now? Please don't break. Here we go. This is an ingenious cat or pet hair remover that we got at Bunnings recently. Basically, you just rub it back and forth and then all the fuzz goes in there, which is brilliant. But we also have one of these, so I'm going to keep these where they used to be in the little door organizer. Sorry, that's all the light we have at this weird angle. This is all shoe polishing stuff. So I guess in a way this could go upstairs. No, I'm gonna keep it down here. That's fine. I'm gonna pop it on the shelf near the shoes. And a bag that I got with some shoes I bought recently, an umbrella, shopping bags. These are little shopping bags I often just take if I'm going to like the local supermarket around the corner where I'm walking. So I'm gonna leave these in the door organizer. And same with my umbrella near the rain poncho. I keep cat treats near the door because sometimes I need to bribe her to go into her crate if we're traveling. So I'm gonna leave those where they used to be here. And this is a cat fuzz thing that definitely doesn't work, so I need to start a donation bin. And my laundry basket is empty. I am a firm believer in practical over pretty. So you do not, I mean, if you like things to look pretty and that makes you happy, then by all means do the things that make you happy. For me, I am a lot about keeping things practical, especially a cupboard door that is closed 99.9% of the time. But just so you know where we started, I haven't really decluttered much here. I've got my pet remover stuff there. I've got a rain poncho and an umbrella here. I've got the big umbrella down below. And then I've got some shopping bags and the famous cat treats, which I won't touch now because she will come and hear me. And then I'm gonna just hang my jacket back here. I have had this rain windbreaker jacket for super long. It is a Patagonia. I love it. If you haven't seen my wardrobe tour, go ahead and check that out because you'll see that there. And then, because we're on the cusp season, my husband still likes this puffer jacket from time to time. So those are just going to stay there on the door because that's the reality of practicality. And before we do the final walkthrough, we've got some relocate items here. A shoe bag that I know my husband wants to keep, the electric blanket, which is going in my linen closet where I keep the other one, and my seasonal shoes, which I'm going to put away. This is the old mattress cover that used to be in the caravan. We don't need this anymore. We've got the new one, so that's fine. And here we have cat toys. They're staying. And here we have the fur scratchy thing that doesn't work. It doesn't remove anything. I'm just going to donate it if someone else can use it. That little canvas bag if someone wants it. And then I'm going to put this on Marketplace, or I might give it to my local secondhand shop. That's fine. I'm going to get my, oh my gosh, the light is a bit crazy. I'm going to get my husband to go through these 3 backpacks, and I'm assuming he might want to keep one of them, but I'm going to let him do that when he's back. And down here we have like the everyday shoes. My husband's is along the top and mine is along the bottom. And this is sort of stuff that we wear daily or even weekly. Look how tiny my feet are in comparison. I can fit 5 shoes when he can fit 4. Anywho, I've also just literally bought these. These are barefoot running shoes. I'm really looking forward to trying these out. Total side note, but I have found that barefoot shoes, my feet are a lot happier in barefoot shoes. And then we've got some trash here, some fuzz from the pet hair roller and some stuff that's going. So let's have a look in the wardrobe. And there we go. There's a final result. Hi, Lumi. Are you going to show everyone? She loves sneaking in here more often than not. So on the door here we had, it's not pretty, but it's very functional, and we've got all the little pockets here. I don't even know where I got this from. Maybe it was from IKEA or something, this little organizer. Anyway, it works really well to compartmentalize things. On this shelf here, we've got my bin, my husband's bin, and our summer hats and the shopping bags as well. Here I've actually started putting donations, so this is a small pile, but I will sort of add to this and then go drop it at my op shop when I'm ready to do so. Got the shoe polishing stuff there, and then tech and pretty much a completely empty shelf down there below except for the moisture absorber. I put the, let's see if I can do this without bonking my head. I put the shoe organizers here. I will check with my husband if he wants to keep these shoes here or not. If not, I might end up donating these if we don't feel like we need them. But that's totally fine. They can stay there for now. And moving around, don't get motion sick on me. This is one of my filming lights. Obviously that's not going to live here, but here is where I keep the open kitty litter, her travel crate, and then the 2 extras. Normally I have 1 to 2 extras. I buy them when it's on clearance. And here is my brilliant surfboard idea. Yes, I know, Lumi. Hi. For the ironing board. I've asked my husband if he wants to get rid of it, and he said no, let's keep it for now. So I've just put it long ways because, as you can see, it's not very tall, so I can't put it all the way up here. So this is one of those things, if he wants to keep it, that's totally fine. So I'll just keep it in here until such time that we don't need it anymore. And then in here, it looks a little bit busier, but that's basically going on my caravan bed very soon. And these 2 will probably go into our spare rooms quite soon, or in our offices rather. And back here, it's a little bit hard to see, but I've basically Tetrised in all the things that we don't use very often. Obviously we're coming up to Christmas in a couple of months, so we'll get to that then. I've got my vacuum seal bags up there, the chessboard, the cat stuff, the hiking packs and the luggage. But I'm really happy with how neat that is, and even better is, let me show you. Because when you come in, it actually looks like this. Obviously the lamp's gonna go, but it actually looks really nice and clean. And lately when I've been coming in here, it's just felt really crammed around this whole area here, and we've just been piling stuff up. So I am pretty happy with that. I feel so good about this. In reality, even though I was filming and chatting to you all, this did not take me very long. This probably took me half an hour of cleaning time, which included the vacuuming. And it's just making me so happy. The space is looking good. It is flowing well. I didn't get rid of a whole lot, but I reorganized things and I did get rid of a few things we've been holding on for just because. And what I really recommend, especially if you have a space like this, do use those vacuum seal bags because you can free up a lot of space, and you can also make sure that things don't get like condensation or smelly over the winter, or if it's a more humid area. When we had everything in storage, and I'll show you a picture on the screen here, while we were building this house, we basically had everything we owned in storage for the better part of a year. And that was a Tetris storage unit, I'll tell you. But I had these vacuum seal bags for pretty much anything fabric cushion related. It saved us a lot of space and it made those items last without having to like spoil and for me to go and buy new things. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today, and if you need some permission, inspiration, or a kick up the bum to tackle an area that has been annoying you as much as this area was annoying me, please go ahead and put it on your to-do list. Just get it done, put on some good music, invite a friend over, have a glass of wine, do whatever it is that you need to do to stay motivated in your decluttering. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to see you in the next video.